Wouldn't you agree one of the most critical times of an injury is when you report it?
Yeah, because depending on how you reported it or when or if you did at all to your employer, it can affect the entire case.
It dictates whether or not an insurance carrier denies a claim.
Absolutely. Now the law says you have to give your employer 4 days written notice, but rarely have I seen that that's an issue. I mean, theoretically you could be penalized up to a day's compensation if you don't give written notice within 4 days. But most of the time, the employer knew about the injury, but it's how you report the injury and how quickly you report it that I think is important. There's too many excuses why people don't report. I mean, you've heard them all, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, either one, they felt as though the injury, the pain and the injury was going to go away.
Right.
Another is that they're afraid of losing their job. Another is, and this often happens, where there's this safe workplace incentive. So there's all this downward pressure on an injured worker not to report their injury.
Yeah.
We see so many problems when this occurs.
I've even had clients tell me, I didn't report the injury. I went on my own to my own doctor because I wanted to do my employer a favor. I didn't want to complicate things, didn't want to cost them money. And the sad thing is that when the injury is serious and now they're stuck, they don't have a job, they don't have
income
treatment
coming in.
They're right. They did the employer a great favor. Now the employer doesn't have to pay anything. You've lost a job, you need medical care, and you don't have access to any sort of treatment.
Right, bills are piling up, you got the mortgage to pay, you have to put food on the table. That's true stress.
And I mean, think about it this way. I mean, you're working, you lift something at work, you feel some pain in your back, and you're thinking, I don't want to cause some ripples. I don't want to cause a stir. This will probably go away because we've all had back injuries or pains where we thought it would go away, and you wait. And after a while, you're powering through it. You're trying to be a good worker, and after about 3 or 4 weeks, it's not going away. And now it's serious. And so now finally you report it. And then what happens?
It's fatal because you may not have a witness to the injury, you didn't timely report it, you didn't seek treatment right away, you've given the insurance carrier who wants to deny the claim in the first place every single reason not to admit on the claim, and now you're in really big trouble.
Because the employer is going to send you home. The employer's like, I'm not going to risk injuring you further,
right,
and arguing that what I think is some non-work related injury was aggravated by the continued work. You need to stay home. So there you are, and the insurance company is going to ask the employer, well, were you told about this incident? No, this is the first time I've heard about it. What are the other coworkers going to say? Unless you've got some good friends on the job, they're going to say, we never heard anything. He never complained. In fact, he was doing his regular job without any problems.
Right. Well, and the reason why it's so critical to a claim to report your injury immediately is that if you fail to do so, we find ourselves more often than not in court.
And I don't even care if you think you haven't injured yourself, if you think it will go away, report it anyway. Say, you know what, I did something with my back there. I don't think I need to go to a doctor right now, but I'll let you know if that changes.
Just document it.
Right.
That's the key.
Documenting, talk about that.
Documenting one's injury is part of the reporting the injury. You have to document it, because once it's documented, somebody can't just simply stand up in court and say, he never reported it, she never reported it, she never told me anything about it, therefore we don't think it happened at work.
And so what I tell people is if it's not in writing, it didn't happen. Just assume as a matter of course that the employer is going to say, he never told me. The supervisor is going to say, they never said anything. And so I always tell clients, if you can, send it by email, send it by text message, send it by fax it, some sort of proof, so that if they say, we never were told about this, we've got proof that in fact you did.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't do it, then what?
Then your claim is going to be denied, and it's going to be very, very difficult to prove your case in court.
And then we're going there.
Right?
Call us for a free consultation.